much of the way. But I firmly believe, as you said yourself, that the medical science, allopathy, or the natural ways of looking after your health that you follow are not mutually exclusive. So if anything, they are actually synergistic. And obviously, I don't think that there needs to be any tussle between the two. I think they mutually complement each other. So there are, if there's anything that the last 20 years in medicine have taught me, then that is that medical sciences have answers for lots of different things, but not for everything. So if you have an inflamed appendix, you need surgery. Simple.
Yes.
But as you said, holistic health is not something that comes from medical science always. So that
And they are best placed. They are best placed to do that.
They are, but as you said,
Yes.
sadly they don't have the kind of wherewithal to. So that was a comment, and I firmly believe, as I said, that the two are synergistic. They should work together.
So two meaning Ayurveda and allopathy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because I think people take the wrong line of thought when they start thinking about one versus the other.
That's incorrect. In fact, I take both of them together, and I have some harsh comments on them that they have become medicine science from medical science, and that is where they need to go back to become medical science. Sorry. So I try my best to encourage people to go away from the medicines as much as they can. It's based on facts, not just random thing that I don't want to take medicine and I stop taking medicine. It doesn't work like that. You need to compensate what medicine gives you through something else. So that I do try to encourage, but I agree, where required, medical interventions should happen. You don't wait for you to die.
No, absolutely. So there's two questions. One, obviously, I think there is a need to make sure that people don't perceive these two things as antagonistic.
Yes.
And is there anything that, your organization, I should call it, it's sort of growing at a very fast pace, would like to do towards this? Because I think it ends up harming a lot of individuals, thinking that these two things don't go together when they should.
Yes.
And the second thing was, I hear from a lot of my colleagues about, so the one criticism, if you like, of yoga or Ayurveda is that where is the evidence? There's a lot of anecdotal evidence, like you've said, you've helped so many people. But in the sort of, towards the medical side, we want trials and results. Now, is it possible at all, so in terms of, I'm sure, if you measure people's biochemical markers after they've done the program, you will be able to quantitatively show. And I think that would be very helpful.
Yes, so I'll answer that question in two parts. One is, being a student of science, I always believe that something that we need to prove something as reproducible as it can be. And there should be fact-based, result-based evidence which everyone can see. So before I give answer to that, I'll give one information that almost every batch I have about 10% participants who are doctors, and they are from allopathy and Ayurveda and homeopathy background. So my argument with my conversation with them is always like that. You taste it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, it's as simple as that. So far, I have not seen exceptions. Wherever they apply the philosophy, wherever they apply the principles, it does yield benefits, and it's no-brainer. The other part to your question is how I help them not get into this conflict, and that is because I count them as something that will intervene and help you when you are actually in hospital for something beyond repair. But when you are not in hospital and you are being prescribed a medicine, I make sure that they get guts and understanding and strength to ask doctor that when doctor prescribed the medicine, what can I do to stop this medicine? And that strength I make sure everyone gets in the program, and that is where the reversal starts. So most of the people have this firm belief that lifestyle diseases have got lifelong medicines and you can't reverse them, you just have to continue taking pills. I want them to debunk that theory and work on changing lifestyle and getting away from those medicines. So that is one aspect. But the other aspect is, where possible, where there is a medical intervention required and those people are better placed to make the decision, not me, because I'm not a medical professional. There only they will have say. Of course, that will be counter questioned and validated by the patient himself. But the doctors will have their say on what needs to be done, and I definitely believe that allopathy has done the biggest benefit to the mankind by recent inventions. It has digressed, it has got its own disadvantages and bad elements, but we can keep those aside and save ourselves from that.
No. Oh, that was compiled by Rahul Ji. I wasn't original then. No, I had a chat with him previously along with Aparna during the week. So,
I thought that those questions were
no. Oh, thank you. No. And secondly, I did have a look at the book a little bit. I had a copy downloaded previously.
your medical sort of students
Yes.
who are attending the course.
And the only thing, I came away from reading, a couple of chapters from the book, and which I've shared previously with Rahulji as well, is one, it is about your own awareness of your body and working towards your own set of goals in your own way, really, with exercising whatever judgment or control that you may. It is about self-analysis and empowering yourself in the knowledge that there is a way. I would sort of say, use the phrase, you could be your own tablet or the medicine bottle. Sometimes we just forget that there is a possibility of achieving what needs to be achieved in a different way. Sometimes these other alternative ways may be more long-winded and it takes possibly longer, but understanding yourself and also all of the components that make up you and your health and that contribute to your health is going to be of benefit to everybody, just to become aware of what could lead to what, and in lots of cases, lots of times, a mental health issue could be causing a physical health ailment, which is sort of you fish around for years together to find out the cause for, to solve the physical ailment, whereas the mental health component is unaddressed. So
I've got
it is
one.
complex.
I've got. Sorry to interrupt you, but I've got one very important point to add to your statement there. That most of the time mental health is ignored, and I often say to members that all the weight that you see on your weighing scale is not your weight of the body. It sometimes is weight you have been carrying on your in your mind, and that just shows up.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you said is very important, that you need to be your own pill or bottle of medicine. And my intention of this program is that you become independent, and this should be your last program on health. That is my goal. How much I succeed, time will tell. A lot of people do get what they want and what I expect them to have, but the intention is exactly that they should not depend on me as well at the end of the program, and they should be able to get the grasp of their own capacity, health, and go beyond their comfort zone and continue improvement. So that is the intention, and so far it has been working quite well. Sorry, I come back to your answer. So the question was, do I get challenged by medical professionals that participate in the group? So all those professionals are very well qualified and they're quite senior. And some of them, you may know Aparna and Pawan, who work in Watford Hospital, and then I've got a couple who are orthopedic surgeons, and they have been in a very senior capacity, worked in international level conferences. So the way it works is they challenge and ask for evidence, and I say just try, give a fair try, and as a student of science you should be open to trials.
Experiment.
Yes, test it. And the important thing is, I'm not asking them to do anything unnatural. I'm not asking them to consume anything that is not natural. So that makes them believe that at least I'm not doing something which I would never do, something like that. But yes, I often have good debates, and one thing I have observed, which I would share, is whether you're a doctor or not, doesn't matter. Most of the people I have seen live under tremendous stress, and their main purpose of participation is never challenging my program or belief. Of course, as a scientific mind, you should always question, and they do. But the moment they go through the purpose of the program and the principles, there's nothing that conflicts with modern medical science. Yes, the point that was raised was about the scientific results and evidences. So the way that works is, you have few years of continued experimentation, and then you pursue a proper funding and a proper set of participants who will be observed in various places with a controlled environment and everything, and parameters. So that thing is due in a year's time. Before that, I need to gather enough evidence to prove that it is working in a way I'm expecting. So far I have not found any conflict or exceptions in that, and it is well progressing in that stage. And the point that you mentioned about Ayurveda and few other things, always get this complaint that you don't have evidence or you haven't conducted enough trials. I definitely wanted to avoid that thing for Niramay, and I wanted Niramay to be part of the other side, where you have mental evidence, you have practical evidence, and some research based on those findings. So I have started work on that. It's a long process and it runs into years. It is useful to scale the experiment to billions or millions. The current problem I have is I can't multiply myself to scale the program. So I'm content with the scope right now, but that is the intention. I need to go to that level.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just want to.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Abhikar, after
I
you
was on
finish.
the floor and I was sorry, I didn't see you. Just wanted to, with absolutely no this, just to. So, any of your students who sort of benefited when you said, what was the shortest time period? I'm not saying that it's a medicine and it will happen overnight sort of thing, but just to understand the holistic life cycle change or
So
lifestyle
what I
change
have,
always takes
yeah.
longer.
So what I have observed is, and I'll give you a practical answer, that roughly the three aspects. One is the physical change, which includes stamina, your inch losses, your body loss, weight loss, or weight gain in some case. They happen, they start to get seen in 1 or 2 weeks. And the other part, settling into the new lifestyle with the diet, takes about 3 weeks, and then you get various hurdles, like आज ये त्योहार है, कल वो है, परसों कहीं जाना है, travel है, so all that happens. And then the book and the program also addresses those parts where you have breaks in your lifestyle and how to deal with those breaks. The next part is mental health. That comes in about 5, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and then some participants do continue in the next batch to just get some more support, and that is also allowed. And then they make sure that they are settled into new lifestyle, and wherever there are problems, they just fine tune it in some cases. So what I have observed is if there is a change in the lifestyle for the family, the changes set in quite quickly and last longer. So I have got many participants who participate as a couple, husband and wife, for example, and that does help. But it's not mandatory. I mean, even if one participates, the other does get benefit to some extent, not the fullest, but yeah.